That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, real quick, make sure you listen to this. I need to give y'all some context just so you understand what these rankings are. These are Dynasty Fantasy Football rankings. If you don't know what Dynasty Fantasy Football is, that's where you draft your team once. You keep that same team pretty much forever, where then you draft rookies coming into the NFL. You make trades throughout the entire offseason, and you play fantasy football just like we do in a regular league as the season goes on. Really, it's the closest we can get to managing our own NFL teams. A lot of fun, and I am making these rankings based on what I think Dynasty rankings are going to look like this offseason. So clearly, players that are producing right now are going to be worth more to y'all that are actually competing, to y'all that look like you're going to be in the fantasy football playoffs. But if you are looking like you're going to gear up for 2021 and you just want some value on your roster, I think here is going to be the best way where we can go out there and we can try to identify that. All right, so now let's dive into our top 10 Dynasty running backs, and this is going to be for the 2021 offseason. And let's start it off at Christian McCaffrey with the #1 overall spot. Yes, McCaffrey is going to be a lot older than most of the other running backs on this list, but I think Christian McCaffrey we can safely project to be a very impactful running back at the NFL level for a long duration throughout his entire NFL career, just because even if he does miss out on some athleticism, even if later on in his NFL career he can't take the beating of seeing 25 touches a game, at the very worst, we know that he's going to have the talent in the receiving game to be transitioned over to maybe being a running back that's only playing 60% of the team snaps, but he's seeing about 7 targets a game. So I think Christian McCaffrey has another year or two of that bell cow type usage, and then I think beyond that, where we would see most running backs at the NFL level completely fall off, Christian McCaffrey is still going to be able to maintain a role in either the Carolina Panthers offense or another NFL team's offense because of what he can provide them in terms of his receiving game ability. Because we know at the running back position, it's very hard to project that longevity for a lot of the running backs that don't have that elite asset in terms of what they can provide in catching the ball. So Christian McCaffrey is pretty much a unicorn here, where most running backs we expect to only get a solid elite 2 to 3 seasons from, and then they drop off significantly after that. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. But now with McCaffrey, I think that he's going to be a completely different breed. All right. So now coming in here at #2, I think this is the only running back that you could make a conversation for having over Christian McCaffrey. We are going to have Saquon Barkley. Yes, it sucks. Saquon Barkley missed the entire 2020 NFL season, but going into 2021, I think that the New York Giants should be able to go out there and improve their offensive line. So Saquon Barkley is coming back to a better situation than what he saw in 2020. And we know Barkley is most likely, in my opinion, the most talented running back in the NFL. If you look at his athletic profile, if you look at his just playmaking ability and making defenders miss in the open space, and clearly if he gets a step on a defender, he is going to take it to the house. Nobody can really match Saquon Barkley's big playability with his passing game ability. That combination is so deadly. Still on his rookie contract, was selected in the 2018 NFL draft class. So I don't think we have to worry about Saquon Barkley losing value anytime soon. Going to be a very, very rare elite bell cow running back for the next 3 seasons. All right, now coming in here at running back 3, very similar to a Saquon Barkley and a Christian McCaffrey with that elite receiving game usage, we are going to have Alvin Kamara. Now, I hate going out there and investing this highly into a running back that is off of his rookie contract and that is already on his second contract, because if you look historically, these running backs fall off so fast once they get to that second contract. But very similar to what I said with Christian McCaffrey, where I think later on in his NFL career, he can transition over to not necessarily being a bell cow type running back, but we can be looking at him being an elite pass catcher, which is going to provide him a role on any NFL offense. I think we're seeing the same thing here with Alvin Kamara at 3, and he also got a long-term guaranteed contract with the New Orleans Saints this past offseason. So I think that extension is really going to kind of just make sure Alvin Kamara has value for years to come. All right, now coming in here at #4, this is going to be our first pick that I know we're going to get a ton of hate with, but we are having DeAndre Swift. Now, y'all know DeAndre Swift was our #1 running back coming into the NFL draft in 2020. I think that he's very similar to a running back that we just discussed in Alvin Kamara. We can also look at him being very similar to an Aaron Jones in that, yes, DeAndre Swift is not going to see every single touch in his backfield. We are always going to see another running back in there getting some carries between the 20s, whether that's going to be Adrian Peterson, Kerryon Johnson, someone they decide to bring in 2021. It does not matter. I think we're never going to see DeAndre Swift be a consistent 25 touch player every single game. But what DeAndre Swift offers us is all of the high value touches in that Detroit Lions offense. He gets a significant amount of targets out of the backfield. He gets the usage at the goal line. I think that's going to line up with exactly what we're seeing from an Alvin Kamara and an Aaron Jones. But the difference between DeAndre Swift and Aaron Jones is DeAndre Swift is currently a rookie, has 4 years left on that rookie deal. Aaron Jones is playing on the last year of his rookie deal. So I think the window that we're going to have with DeAndre Swift is going to be that 4 to 5 year window where you invest into him and you have that foundational running back that you know you're going to have an RB1 for the next 5 years. All right, so now let's get to our RB5, a running back that I know a lot of people are going to have ahead of DeAndre Swift. But I just think if you understand how Dynasty Fantasy Football is played, you understand the value of a rookie running back contract. You know that DeAndre Swift should be ranked higher. Dalvin Cook, yes, Dalvin Cook is one of the most productive running backs every single year in fantasy football. Very similar to a running back like Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey. He's already signed that extension for his offense, and he's providing you a ton of production right now, where if you're a contender and you want points right now, you are definitely going to have Dalvin Cook ranked higher than DeAndre Swift. Like I said, these are rankings for us going into 2021 in Dynasty Fantasy Football. This is trying to zoom out and project what we are going to see in the Dynasty community. And I think with Dalvin Cook already a year in his NFL extension, I think we're just going to see a lot more longevity with DeAndre Swift. And Dalvin Cook's not going to necessarily provide that same type of elite passing upside and getting that role locked in on a second offense like we're going to see with a Christian McCaffrey or an Alvin Kamara. All right, so now coming in here at 6, I know a lot of people are going to be surprised by this, but we are going to have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So yes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been very disappointing so far in his rookie season, but very similar to what we talked about with a DeAndre Swift. It really doesn't matter when we are going out there and trying to project him for 2021 and beyond, because Le'Veon Bell will no longer be in this offense. Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be seeing over 20 touches a game for the most prolific offense in football. Very similar to a DeAndre Swift, actually the exact same situation. He's on that rookie contract, but with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it's actually nicer because he was drafted in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, so he has that 5th-year option by the Kansas City Chiefs. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be a running back that's tied to Patrick Mahomes for pretty much his entire NFL career. We have to take notice. We have to understand that when you are getting those touches guaranteed in the best offense in football, that's going to provide you a ton of value. And guys, please just trust me on this. That rookie contract is such a big deal for these running backs. That's why we're going to get to our next running back on his rookie deal as well. We're going to go with Miles Sanders at number 7. Miles Sanders has back-to-back seasons where we've seen him be able to handle a feature down role with getting targets out of the backfield, putting his athleticism on display. He was drafted in 2019, so we don't have to worry about him coming to the end of his rookie contract anytime soon. We don't have to worry about that production dipping off. With Miles Sanders, an extremely safe asset and to invest into, knowing that he's also going to get you production in 2020, and he's going to have that long-term value. Very similar with our running back, Josh Jacobs. Here with Jacobs, the only reason we have him behind Sanders is we've seen Sanders so far through 2 years provide a much better role in his passing game than we're seeing with the Josh Jacobs. So I think Jacobs may be a little bit more game plan and game scheme dependent, where Miles Sanders is going to be that locked-in running back 1 regardless. Here, it doesn't matter though. Both of them are going to be top 10 options based on the fact that they have multiple years left in their rookie contracts, and we've seen them both handle 3-down roles before. Now, coming in here at running back 9, this is going to surprise a lot of people that aren't used to Dynasty Fantasy Football, but this is going to be Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, very similar to these running backs that we discussed before, still on that rookie contract, was drafted in 2020, has an elite college profile coming into the NFL. where we think that he can be a bell cow for the Indianapolis Colts, who have one of the best offensive lines in football. He just is coming off a week from week 11 where he saw over 25 touches in that offense. So he's expanding his role. He's finally breaking out. Jonathan Taylor could be higher on this list after we get to the end of the season. Now, coming in here at running back 10, another very aggressive ranking that I know a lot of people will not want to agree with. They'll want to argue for Nick Chubb. They'll want to argue for Joe Mixon. They'll want to argue for Austin Eckler. A million different running backs. But guys, if we are talking Dynasty Fantasy Football, if we are trying to project these players for the rest of their NFL careers, I think the answer is easily going to be J.K. Dobbins in here at 10. J.K. Dobbins was drafted in 2020 with a workhorse type profile, can catch balls out of the backfield, can go out there and see the majority of touches in his backfield, playing on one of the better offenses in the entire NFL on that rookie contract with no questions on where those touches are going to go in the future. So here, I think we are going to go J.K. Dobbins. Now, guys, I know there are probably 5 players that y'all wanted to hear about on this list as well. Y'all want to go down there and make your arguments for them, and I completely encourage it. Go down to the comment section. Let me know why I am wrong. Let me know why we need a James Robinson and Nick Chubb and Austin Eckler and so on, and Ezekiel Elliott. If you want to make an argument for one of those running backs, I really want to hear it, but please just don't go down there and say, Mason, you're stupid. How did you miss out? Blah, blah, blah. Guys, I thought about this for a while. These are going to be our locked-in top 10 running backs at this point in the season, how we're projecting into 2021. If I'm wrong, let me know why, just not that I'm wrong. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Really, really helps us out, and I hope I'll see y'all. We don't live stream on this channel, so I hope I'll see y'all with the video tomorrow.